dear. Huh, that sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame. It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh, we're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are, or the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right. You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Sometimes the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the preview story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. You wouldn't want me to get muddled, would you? No, of course not. Just press the send button below the news story you want and whoosh, it will magically appear on my teleprompter. Be sure to hit the send button, otherwise I won't get the news story. Oh, splendid. I'm sure you'll do a smashing job producing my show today. Just remember that we only want you to see good news. Fortunately, all the news at Darknigthmare is good. Here we go. On in 5, 4, 3...
And now it's time for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. That's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the news you need to start your afternoon with a smile. How long have we wellies enjoyed joy? 10, 12 years? It seems Hamlin amateur historian E.B. Gibbon now claims that a form of joy came to England with the Norman Conquest in 1066. Always scribble, 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 eh, Mr. Gibbon? Well, Mr. Gibbon identifies several joy capsules in the Bayeux Tapestry. However, other scholars maintain that they are merely commas. Well, despite not having been able to convince the smug elites in their ivory towers, Gibbon remains optimistic and, of course, very happy indeed. Next card. Waiting. Anytime. Inspector Royston Luckenbill, oh dear, reminds the public that the alleged murderer, known as Foggy Jack, does not exist. No, he's just a fairy tale, states Inspector Luckenbill, and we all know how horrible those are. There are definitely no victims found in the street in the morning with certain organs surgically removed. No. And even if there were, what on earth were those people doing out after dark, eh? Everyone except the constables should be at home listening to Uncle Jack's bedtime stories. I'm sure that the girls in question were just running carelessly with scissors. Oh, yes, well, as we all know, one can't be too careful doing arts and crafts, can one? Oh. Let's see what my producer has handed me now, shall we? Oh, yes. There we go. The Geological Society has awarded its highest honor to Charles Hutton Lyell for his recent discoveries on seismology. For years, the citizens of Wellington Wells have complained that they become lost as familiar landmarks appear in unexpected places. Oh, and here I thought it was just me forgetting where everything was. His new research proves that this phenomenon is not at all in your head. Our city happens to be located in an area of unusual seismic activity. Things really do move around. What a special place we live in, don't we? Perseverance makes honor bright. Next card, please. For many years, Mrs. Valerie Fothergill and Mrs. Mia Fothergill believed that they had the same last name because they were cousins. Last Thursday, however, they discovered that it is because they're married to the same man. According to Constable John Constable, these days, with their happy faces on, a lot of men look quite similar. Well, that certainly was rather inventive, wasn't it, Mr. Fothergill? Mr. Fothergill has been arraigned before the municipal court on 1 count of bigamy. Well, I suppose that's 2 counts of monogamy. Well, they don't say which missus gets to keep it. But if you've also married Mr. Fothergill, please don't hesitate to write to Jack Worthing. That's me. Next card, please. Waiting. The legendary Simon Says contest at the Church of St. Genesius is back on! Yes! And the pop star Nick Lightbearer will be their celebrity caller. Mr. Lightbearer has become reclusive of late. His Christmas concert ended abruptly last year when the singer broke down in tears of joy and, well, he was unable to continue, even after fans appreciatively threw kitchen scraps on stage. His managers assure the singer's loyal fans that he no longer has the very bad cold that caused the rest of his concert series to be cancelled. Oh, that was a bit of excitement, wasn't it? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Yes. Our producer did a pretty swell job for a fan, don't you think, eh?
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party in the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many. Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, well, make sure that they're not breaking anything. People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they? Do you know what makes a party even better? Why, joy, of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery with joy, right? You can never be too careful. Any time now. Yes, just fire up that old ventilation system and spread the joy all around. Just like old Scrooge. Water. Nice to hear that lovely joy gas hissing through the ventilator. Always now me under your smile. No one really wants that little language. Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. There we go. 'Cause when we were young, we just a child. Try a stranger on for a while. Something could change for a brand new start. Hide all the raindrops under your tongue. They're only tears. There's nothing to fear. Hello. Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice Gibson of Claverton Down. Mr. Gibson says, what do you call three downers at the bottom of the sea? Not enough downers. Very good. We're starting off very strong today, aren't we? This one is from Brian E. Ditton of Collier's Lane. What's the difference between a downer and a trampoline? You take off your shoes before you jump on a trampoline. How true! How very true! I mean, you don't want to damage a perfectly good trampoline, do you? Very good indeed. This is from Mrs. Jemima Hughes of Coronation Avenue. And her joke is, if you see a drowning downer, what do you throw him? I don't know, a brick? An anvil? Well, no, you can't very well throw an anvil, can you? What about a grenade? No. Who has grenades these days? Answer, another downer! I told you it was good. That's wonderful. It's very good. You see, they both drown. And here's another one. How do you save a drowning downer? Answer, who cares? Very good. Lovely jokes. Lovely jokes today. Very funny indeed. And here's one from, not that one, no, this one here. It's from Clive Pritchard of Sladebrook Road. Mr. Pritchard, what do you have for us today? Question. How is a puppy like a mortally wounded downer? Answer. Eventually they'll both stop whining. Oh, Mr. Pritchard, you're quite a character, aren't you? Oh. You know, I miss my dog. What am I saying? I don't miss anything at all. I've got it all right here. Let's see what else we've got. Yes, we have something from our dear friend and faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyoung. Yes, as you can tell from his name, Mr. Blackyoung isn't actually a real Englishman. He's an Afrikaner from South Africa, but he's doing his patriotic best to fit in. So, what do you have for us today, Mr. Blackyoung? Question. How is a downer like an apple? Answer. They both look good hanging from a tree. I'm not sure I get it. Oh, I see. Yes, very good. Hanging from a tree. And here's another one. What's the difference between a downer and the Black Plague? Well, one is a deadly organism that can destroy an entire city, and the other is a bacterium. Oh, very good. Well, I think it's going to be hard to top that one, but we must slog on, eh? It's one of our greatest English virtues. I have one here from Mr. Thomas Henchley of Longbottom Circle. What have you got for us, Mr. Henchley? Question. Why do we bury downers 20 feet underground? Answer. Because deep down, they're really nice people. Deep down, yeah. I think that's the best one of all. It really is. Very good. Remember, no one has to be a downer. But if you feel a bit down, take your joy. And if you see someone who seems a bit down, make sure he takes his joy. It's as simple as that. Happiness is a choice.
Truth is the enemy of happiness. Isn't that the decision we all made?
Oh. But you know the truth, don't you? There's not a thing I can tell you that you don't already know. Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in fucking rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells.
Do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
Sally?
Arthur, we're practically the only two people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a fucking terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry?
You've gone too far this time.
People won't face facts. Not until we take their joy. And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The sun is up, and the weather is overcast and only slightly rainy, with occasional patches of lovely sunshine. Wakey, wakey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear friends. Good morning to you. Well, I hope you all had a lovely night's sleep with lovely dreams. It's shaping up to be a wonderful morning, and I think I can promise you that it's just going to get better all through the day. We all forget things from time to time, so don't forget the most important thing. Is it your tea? Is it your muesli? Is it bacon and eggs? Is it toast? Did you forget to butter your toast? No, don't be silly. It's your daily joy. Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go swimmingly. So, let's take a look at today's schedule. What's going on in the village of Hamlin? Well, chatting and greeting and smiling and laughing, of course, and breakfast, lunch and dinner, and work. But at 3, I hope you'll all take a quick break for our daily recreational activity. Today we will all gather round the telly for a rousing round of Simon Says. Well, I won't be gathering round the telly. I'll be in the telly. Just like every day, I'll be playing it with you. And then there'll be cake and prizes for all winners, and everyone's a winner, and every... Now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And my first letter is from Mrs. Emily Cluley of Falkland Road. Dear Uncle Jack, I adore your show and thank you for answering my question. I have a big Victorian bed that my husband inherited from his grandmum, but most nights he crawls off to sleep in the small bedroom in the small bed we have there.
He promises that it's not because I snore, but he won't say why he does, and I'm not sure he even knows. He seems a little sad. What should I do? Dear Emily. May I call you Emily? Your letter is quite touching. You know the answer, don't you? Yes. You see, if he seems a little sad, there's only one possible answer. He's off his joy a bit, isn't he? Yes. You must encourage him to take his pills, even if he seems a bit defiant. Take him to a doctor. There's no sense. Every now and then, you might see someone who seems to be sleeping on the path or even in the middle of the road. Now, we all know that the middle of the road is not the most comfortable place to sleep, and it's rather inconvenient for the rest of us. We might trip on them. So, what's going on? Well, everyone is talking about the shocking thing that happened yesterday. You know what I'm talking about. I have it on good authority that it was not at all what you might have thought it was. And in any event, the responsible parties are taking steps to make sure it never happens again. In the meantime, keep calm and carry on. And don't forget to take your joy. And the weather report is, rain, rain, go away, come back again some other day. Remember, gentlemen, while rainwater goes down smooth in a whiskey, it does not contain joy. So, if you like to collect rainwater for tempering your constitutional, please remember to adjust. Well, it's getting late, isn't it? And it's time for all good wellies to cuddle up in bed. You don't want to be out after dark, do you? Foggy Jack might come for you. And then where would you be? In several places at once, wouldn't you?
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. It's your dear friend, Uncle Jack, with a few brief tips that'll help you get along. The most important one, of course, is don't forget to take your joy. Drink plenty of water, too. Good thing there's joy in the water, eh? And eat plenty of nutritious food. May I be the first to recommend our local delicacy, V-meat. Of course, be very careful to stay away from downers.
I just want them to stop screaming.
Fortunately, most of these sad lunatics live in the Garden District, and no decent person goes there. It's full of dangerous maniacs who won't take their joy.
Good night!
Obey all official signs. They're for your safety and protection. Make friends with your fellow citizens. Talk to them.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Visit them. Wellies love a friendly guest. We Wellies do love our games. It's important to stay young at heart. So use our playgrounds. After all, if we don't, who on earth will? Obey police officers. They're there to protect you. Remember, they're the only ones who are supposed to be out at night. Wellington Wells is always a delightful place. If you just do like everyone else is doing and take your joy, you'll have a splendid time. And if you don't...
One less mouth to feed, eh? I think that's the best one of all. Very good. Well, hello there. What exactly are you doing? Yes, you there. This is Uncle Jack talking directly to you. Are you where you belong right now? And are you supposed to be doing that? These are very important questions for all of us. As patriotic citizens of Wellington Wells, it's not enough to just look out for us.
I want you to have fish.
Got you.
You have no right to touch me!
You look like a bed and breakfast.
And yearning shall avail thee not.
Are you sure it's safe to get that close?
Fix you. Move along, please. What's done is done.
Get yourself back to the garden.
Very good.
Screaming trees, all the things I can't unsee, rolling heads and falling teeth when I'm not with you.
London Bridge has fallen down. It's fallen down, fallen down. London Bridge has fallen down. Take the keys and lock them up. Yes, go on, do it. Lock them up. Yes, lock them up. Take the keys and lock them up. My fair lady. Everything is quite all right. Sleepy tight. Nighty night. Everything's turned out of sight. My fair lady. And that was a peek at the exciting new game, We Happy Few. And it's all set in our very own city, Wellington Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us here in the studio the creative director of We Happy Few. Please welcome Mr. Guillaume Prevost.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jack.
Tell me, Guillaume, why make a game all about us?
Well, we like England.
Yes?
We like the 60s.
Oh, yes?
We love dystopia.
Dystopia? More like utopia, because, well, let's face it, we're all so happy here. Do you know the secret behind the famous Wellington Wells smile? Well, it's the miraculous little pill, ingeniously called joy. And it helps us forget anything bad that might have happened to us. And life is just wonderful every day.
Yeah, so back in the war, when the Germans invaded England and...
What an imagination this fellow has. What an imagination. Of course, none of us had to do anything terrible when the Germans were here. No. At least, I can't remember anything. Can you?
Right. So as the player, you're not actually taking joy. You're off your meds. You're trying to escape the city before it all comes crashing down on you.
That sounds awful. Why would anybody stop taking their happy pills? Do you know what we call people who don't take their joy? Downers, Jason. And do you know what we do with downers? They give them a jolly good thrashing until they take their joy. That's what we do.
In the game, you actually play as a downer. And as you roam around the city, you get to explore its lore and history. And you discover how it got to be the way that it is.
I believe you brought a clip.
That's right, we brought a clip.
Roll the clip.
Clip.
I remember now. You came back from the station. The only one.
You don't think they hurt him, Percy?
The Germans aren't animals, you know. They just wanted to make sure we stay quiet. And we did. Spot of tea.
Funny man.
You see, the people in We Happy Few aren't zombies. They just have peculiar expectations about how you should be. So if you walk down the street, smiling at everyone and wishing them a lovely day
Lovely day for it.
everything will be perfectly fine. In a way, it's like hiding in plain sight. But if you do things that gamers normally do, like breaking into someone's home or wielding a bloody cricket bat on the street, the people are going to get very upset.
Yes, that is something that we frown upon here.
Now, you see, the problem is if you don't break the rules, you're probably going to starve. You are going to starve. You're definitely starving.
And if you do break the rules, people will beat you to a bloody pulp, won't they?
Which is why, as a last resort, you can always take a pill.
Well, why not as the first resort? Everybody loves it.
Jack, you'll overdose.
Well, what's wrong with a little overdose? I mean, so you forget where everything is, but then brilliant, you've got a brand new town to explore.
When you die, and in We Happy Few, you'll die a lot, we generate a brand new city for you from scratch. From the topology of the terrain to the road arteries and the houses that fill up those networks, and the people that live in them, we generate a brand new journey for you to experience each time you start a new game.
Gwyneth, why don't you make a game all about the wonderful citizens of Wellington Wells beating downers senseless, and then cramming joy down their throat, eh?
Cheer up, you bastard.
Yes.
Take it from Jack Worthing. That's me. We're talking smash hit. Anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
Yes, actually. We worked really hard on this game, and we're always on the lookout for more feedback. So if you like the project, or you want to see more of Uncle Jack, come join us. Help us make this game.
And
now, it's time for I Hear You.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God.
It's very dangerous to put your hand outside the windows of the train.
I should just take my joy, shouldn't I? Percy! Percy!
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish. Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card. Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube? Of course, he'd have to break the tube to get out. That would break it for everybody. You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did she go?
No, leave me alone. I took my joy. I took my joy. No, no, leave me alone. No. Oh, hi, Arthur.
Modern English science. We have the perfect fix for the blast.
We seem to be a bit behind in our work.
Joy. Only you know how much it is. Or just ask the doctor and he...
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? And it's time. Wakey, wakey, everyone. And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. I've looked at the weather report for you. And now it's time to read.